Who is our inner child? What is our inner child? We've often heard of that term, but what is it? Who is it? Our inner child is the part of the mind that holds all of our emotional experiences from childhood. Our inner child often creates a lens that we use to view our current experiences. Viewing through the lens of our inner child, especially if we have experienced a lot of wounds and hardship in our lives, contributes to the reactions we often see in our current relationships, the kind of choices we make, our career, and can also affect the choices we make when raising our own children. From birth to about the age of 7 years old, we as children are in an altered state of consciousness. In psychology, this altered state of consciousness is called the egocentric, which just means that we filter our experiences that happen through a self-assigned meaning. For example, if our mother comes home from work in a bad mood, as children, we often internalize it to mean something like we are the reason, maybe because we are not worthy of love or to be cared for. Over time, this becomes a story we tell ourselves every time mom comes home in a bad mood, not realizing it's probably because her boss was giving her a hard time, or she's not being fulfilled there, or it could be anything, but the key thing is it has nothing to do with us. If left untended to, we as children can often carry these patterns with us into adulthood. And let's say your partner comes home from work in a bad mood, it will immediately bring out the part of us that can retell the same story from our childhood when mom used to come home in a bad mood, and we used to think that it was our fault in some way, or that she didn't love and care for us. This is the egocentric. The amazing news is, we as adults now can shift these patterns and heal our inner child. So let's do that now. There are 3 aspects to the inner child: the wounded child, the healed child, and the enlightened child. Today, you and I will become the support system to the wounded part of the inner child that they always deserve to receive, so that they can heal, thrive, and come back to their whole, happy, enlightened self. So let's begin with the part of the inner child that feels wounded and hurt. All that was happening during those times was that a part of the mind was simply doing the best that it could to keep itself safe, considering the circumstances. So all the times the mind felt unsafe, unprotected, it may have reverted to fear, worry, or anything similar, and that was just the mind coping the best way that it knew how. It's important to understand that our inner child is an aspect of ourselves. However, it's not all of who we are. It's just an aspect of who we are. Knowing that, we can actually understand that there's a part of us known as the authentic self. This is the part of us that is fully realized through higher and expanded awareness. It's the part of us that can be the loving parent to our inner child as the sacred observer. So when our inner child feels disconnected, disassociated, wounded, and in pain, it will often use self-sabotaging methods like fear, worry, resentments, shame, regret, and any other coping mechanisms to keep itself safe the best way it knows how. This often leads to a time capsule effect that keeps us stuck on a loop of being highly reactive to our environment, to the people and experiences in our reality. That loop is a type of time capsule effect that keeps us stuck. So I'm going to invite you to just do a quick scan of your body. And when you think about some of those things that keep you on a loop of self-sabotage, or being hard on yourself, or fear comes up, or worry comes up, ask yourself where you carry that in your body. Some people carry it in their stomach, some carry it in their shoulders, in their jaw, in their heart chakra area. Just see where you are holding it. Just that awareness of where you may be holding it already starts the healing process, because now you are pinpointing and actually connecting the dots that all emotional discomfort is actually the root cause of all physical discomfort. So it really helps us look at the experience of our body being a barometer, helping us know how to address and focus on what's causing us angst or making us feel uncomfortable. Sitting with it, being with that experience in your physical body will help to soften it and heal it. The key to shifting out of these self-sabotaging inner child loops is to create space between us and the experience that actually took place. We do this through expanding our awareness. There are so many ways to expand our awareness. We can meditate, we can offer acts of service, we can express gratitude, we can help to shift ourselves out of the egocentric perspective and into a panoramic view that helps us recognize different perspectives. The wounded child is the part of us that decided to disconnect itself because that's what it did to protect itself. So when we can welcome that part of us that once disconnected itself, it can now start to feel acknowledged, seen, heard, loved, cared for by us to such a degree that it no longer feels like it needs to disconnect itself from us. Our life's work is to pause, notice, and listen to what our inner child is saying. This is us choosing to honor and love ourselves fully. So I'm just going to repeat that one more time so that it really sinks in. Our life's work is to pause, notice, and listen to what our inner child is saying. Our inner child is always speaking to us. It's always speaking to us through sensations, feelings, knowings. This is us choosing to honor and love ourselves fully when we actually pause to take notice and listen and be with those messages from our inner child. So the next aspect of our inner child is the healed inner child. To heal is simply to reparent our inner child. We have the power and ability to become the loving, caring, and supportive parent to ourselves that our inner child has always deserved and desired to receive. We may have seen glimpses of it with our parents, yet because of their own experiences and personal patterns, they may not have fully been able to give of themselves 100% in this way. We get to do that for ourselves now. Let's begin by forgiving our parents or any other caretaker, guardian, or teacher who we felt mistreated us in any way. We don't condone their behavior, but we do understand that it's most likely because of their own patterns and the way that they were treated as children is how and why they showed up that way for us. So let's thank them for showing up in that way for us, because no matter how hard or how easy it was, it made us so that we now have come to the moment of awareness where we can choose to end that cycle. The cycles of the wounds and the cycle of that loop of being reactive in ways that are not serving our highest and greatest good. We get to change that pattern now, and because of how they showed up for us, we get to honor and understand that it was a stepping stone for our healing process. When we forgive, we become the ones who have awakened. We have awakened to the knowing that it all happened so that we can remember who we are and we can heal our relationship with our inner child. This has always been between us and ourselves. All of the characters in our lives, all of the people, were just playing supporting roles to help us heal the relationship with ourselves. So knowing that, we can express deep gratitude and we can forgive in ways that we may not have been able to up until this point. Alright, so from this space, our eyes are closed. I invite you to go ahead and see in your mind's eye, see your inner child standing in front of you. So you can see your inner child between the ages of 2 and 7. And just see them standing in front of you. Notice their current demeanor, how they're feeling. Just observe. Now I invite you as the loving parent to this inner child to see yourself hugging your inner child, seeing your inner child step into your embrace and letting them know that they are loved and cared for unconditionally. That all of the pain, all of the hurt that they experienced, all of the choices they may have made, all of the fear-based patterns that they embraced at the time, you are honoring and loving all of that now. There's nothing we're trying to get rid of. There's nothing we're trying to fix. There's nothing we're trying to change about their experiences or who they are. We're simply loving them unconditionally as they are. So let's just witness this embrace between you now with the you that is the inner child. Let them know that you will sit with them no matter how long it takes for them to feel better. You will listen to them. You will hear what they have to say. You will make them feel seen, honored, and acknowledged, always. This is our role as the divine parent to our inner child. So for all the times that they felt unseen, let's ask them for forgiveness. We are so sorry for all the times you felt unseen, unheard, unloved, uncared for. From the depths of our heart, we are so sorry that you experienced that. We are here now. We have always been here, but we are here now intentionally reminding you that we love you and we see you. So let's just sit with that embrace for a moment. So again, our life's work is to pause, to notice, to feel, and to listen to what our inner child is constantly saying to us. This is how we can measure if we are honoring and loving ourselves, or if there's more room to honor and love ourselves. This is the healing. This is what life is all about, so that when our partner comes home from work and they are in a bad mood, rather than internalizing it and making it about us, we can see that maybe we can be compassionate with them. Maybe we can be loving with them without expecting them to feel better, without expecting them to show up any other way than the way that they're showing up. So now we get to be that compassionate healer rather than the person who takes on energy and suffers with their environment. So the healed child is the inner child that gets the reparenting from us. So now just give your inner child another big hug and let them know that if there's anything else that they need to say, they need to express, you are always here, and see if there's anything that comes up around that, if they say anything to you. Until you feel that peace, keep listening, keep holding that space for that inner child. And once you feel that peace, once you start to feel lighter, you'll know, your body will tell you, your emotions will tell you. When that happens, just express gratitude to your body, to your mind, to your inner child, to your I am presence. We are so grateful. When our inner child is healed, then it alchemizes into its full potential, which is the enlightened inner child. The enlightened inner child is the child that comes out to play once the healing process is complete. It's the part of us that sees through the lens of magical possibility, wonder, amazement, and the magic of life.